Welcome to Truth by Billie Beene. I have a subscribe button in the lower right corner of my screen. Thanks for like, subscribe, and share, and for hitting the like button. That helps my channel to grow. Today's date, April 25, 2025, about 1 p.m. in Texas. Some of my sources I'll use today. God in the Bible, Patriot subscribers, Mike from around the world, recently on Pastor Paul Begley's Thursday night program, Daily Mail, Hal Turner, AP, Breitbart, Reuters, and some of the things we'll cover. The U.S. to ration meat. Yeah, I think we might see some of that. And a false flag in India and Pakistan? I kind of think that. And the U.S. to take out poisonous food dyes from our food supply. President Trump and First Lady Melania to attend the Pope's funeral today. And the FBI has made the first of its arrest of judges. So let's get started. So we have this. I have a Facebook friend who said, how about instead of adding pink ribbons to products, that we actually get the ingredients out of our U.S. Food supply that causes cancer? And we have this. I have a Patriot subscriber who says there has been an over-the-horizon radar in North California for some time. And I have a Facebook friend. The U.S. bans, and this happened yesterday, the announcement was made by Health and Human Services Secretary Bobby Kennedy Jr., that the U.S. is making progress in taking poisonous ingredients out of the U.S. food supply. In the U.S., we currently have 4,000 chemicals that can be added to our food supply, whereas Europe has 400, and 30 nations ban all food coming from the U.S. because of the poisonous chemical ingredients we currently have in our food supply. So Bobby Kennedy Jr., when he was making his rounds before President Trump was inaugurated, said, yes, cleaning up the U.S. food supply was high on his list of objectives. And yesterday, he came out on many U.S. TV stations making a formal announcement. And now Facebook says, yes, out of our food supply, our food colors, red 40, yellow 5, blue 1, blue 2, green 3. And a general statement is, if the food has bright colors, it most likely has one of these poisonous chemicals in it that have, it's believed, contributed to an increase in the U.S. of autism, ADHD, and other things. And we have this from Facebook. The FDA now comes out and says a therapy for the COVID is ivermectin. And I have Patriot subscribers who says, yes, we're seeing an increase in chemtrails in New Mexico and Florida. So that's going on. And what we had from Fox News, Bobby Kennedy Jr. came out yesterday and made TV appearances talking about the FDA banning all food dyes and the U.S. food supply, and giving as a reason a dramatic increase in autism and ADHD plus autoimmune disease plus a decrease in U.S. fertility. And in the 1970s in the U.S., we had 3% of teens with chronic disease. Today, in teens, we have 60% of our teen population in the U.S. with chronic disease, 60%, including juvenile diabetes. So that's going on. And we have this. Studies, these poisons in our food supply have also decreased fertility in the U.S. Tests demonstrate that U.S. teen males have testosterone levels of males who are 68 years old. So we see a dramatic decrease in teen male testosterone as a result of the poisons that have been in the U.S. food supply. And we have an impact on females in the U.S. who experience puberty 6 years early. So that's going on. And the objective is to get rid of all food additives in the U.S. food supply. And we have this. Studies by the NIH show that sugar not only increases obesity, but it is a poison and it is addictive. So it's good to stay away from sugar. I heard it was one of the YouTube channels, a medical doctor some time ago said to be healthy, stay away from sugar and wheat. So that's going on. And we have this. In the U.S., currently experiencing sugar diabetes disease. In the U.S., 38% of teens and 50% of all adults. It is because of the poisons that have been in the U.S. food supply. And these poisons put in our food supply are backed up by big pharma who want the U.S. population sick, so the U.S. population buys more of the big pharma. So that's going on. Another problem has been states put forth different standards for the food industry, and the food industry is making this statement that the food industry itself has a problem putting additives in different foods because the states have differing rules. So it appears that Bobby Kennedy Jr., Secretary of HHS, needs to work with the food industry and to create federal standards and to recommend that the states adopt the federal standards. So that would work. So the HHS is banning now all color additives to foods in the U.S. And I heard on Redacted talking about the new ketchup, and it's clear, no color in it, and it looks like a clear gel, almost like something you'd put on your hair and not something you would eat. I submit the U.S. population will, over time, get used to foods that don't have poison colors in them. And we have also a need to remove poison chemicals from our food, from our pharma, from our textiles and clothes, and so on. So a good rule is being put forth. If something is bright colored, you might not want to eat it. So that, such as red licorice. So that's going on. Now we have this from David Nino Rodriguez, Pam Bondi, President Trump's Attorney General, and Kash Patel, President Trump's director of the FBI, are ready to move on arrest. And we see an arrest being made this morning in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Sources for this include Hal Turner and AP. The FBI arrested Wisconsin Judge Hannah Dugan for obstructing an ICE arrest. This occurred April 18 in the courthouse in Milwaukee when Judge Hannah Dugan, because ICE was coming to arrest an illegal whose case she was going to be hearing. She knew ICE was coming. She hid the illegal, believed to be Eduardo Flores Ruiz, and his attorney. But later, the ICE caught up with Eduardo Flores Ruiz outside the courthouse. And that's where the information came out about the judge hiding the illegal and his attorney. On April 18, Judge Dugan is a Milwaukee County Circuit judge. She was arrested today, April 25, about 8 a.m. this morning. This is being confirmed by U.S. Marshal spokesperson Brady McCarran. So we say, way to go, President Trump. The American people want to see arrest. So we have gold up to a new high, 3,500. Bitcoin up, new high, 91,000. Silver up. And we're currently engaged in a trade war with China. And it's believed that items missing on our shelves, we will begin to see in Los Angeles, Chicago, and Houston by April 24, and in New York City by June 2. This information came out from Hal Turner yesterday about the time it takes. I mean, we're currently in this trade war. So the U.S. Companies are canceling orders to China. So once that supply is disrupted, to restart the normal supply, which doesn't appear to be on the horizon, would take several months. So it's expected that we will have some items missing from our grocery shelves and most likely in our drugstores, pharma, pretty soon, within the next month. And we had this come out last night from Mike from Around the World on Pastor Paul Begley's show, who said, expect to see rationing in U.S. grocery stores within 1 month, and that 1 month would correlate with this information that Hal Turner put out about the supply chain. And Mike said, expect to see in grocery stores in 1 month rationing of meat. So that's going on. If you have a freezer, you might want to stock up right now. And we have this. Yeah, Alex Christefero is also putting out, which correlates with my assessment of what we're seeing in India and Pakistan. I just don't think it makes sense. So I believe we may be seeing a false flag in India and Pakistan. Now, why is the question? So we have India, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran. So a few days ago, we had a terrorist Muslim fanatical group from Pakistan come into India and kill 26 Indian citizens. immediately, within hours. India kicks Pakistan citizens out and says, get out in 48 hours. Pakistan reciprocated the same day to citizens of India, get out of Pakistan in 48 hours. And then we saw what India did last night. So through India, from the Himalayas through India, and then through Pakistan, we have the Indus River. This river supplies all 100% of fresh water to Pakistan. It has 14 dams on it. Yesterday, India closed all the dams and shut off fresh water to Pakistan. Overnight, between Pakistan and India, they both had their militaries on the border, and there have been exchanges of gunfire. And I agree with Alex CHRISTEFEROU. This looks like a setup, because let's look at India's immediate response to 26 Indians being killed by a Muslim terrorist group out of Pakistan. Normally, nations would address that with their federal, like FBI and police and so forth, and track down the actual killers and neutralize them. But in this case, we see India responding to Pakistan citizens, get out. And Pakistan responding to Indian citizens, get out. And then India closing the water supply to Pakistan, and then both the military. I mean, this all happened in the last 3 days. Yes, I agree. This is very questionable. Now, the purpose of what's going on is unknown, but I'm putting that forth. But it does look like a serious situation. And we have this. We have from Reuters, Mike from around the world. Now, and I have other sources on this. So we have Syria, we have Israel, we have Iran, Saudi Arabia. Okay, we've seen in Syria, we saw the president who'd been there, Assad. We saw him taken out a few months ago. We saw a terrorist Al-Qaeda leader, al-Jolani, who cut his terrorist teeth on going into Iran over the past 10 years and killing American soldiers. Now, this terrorist, al-Jolani, he changed his name of his group from Al-Qaeda to HTS, has gone in and presumably is now the leader of Syria. So he now changes his name again to something like al-Sharik. So this has been a deep state setup to get rid of Assad, bring in a terrorist leader, al-Sharik, who is tied to Saudi Arabia. This al-Sharik, formerly al-Jolani, is a protege of the government of Saudi Arabia, who raised him and paid for his education. Saudi Arabia, tied with the U.S. CIA, put this terrorist who cut his teeth on killing American soldiers in Iraq, now as the leader of Syria. Saudi Arabia now is going to pay off the debt of Syria to the World Bank. And now President Trump is putting forth a plan for the U.S. to sell arms to Saudi Arabia worth $100 billion. Something's going on. So we have that. And now we have, but this leader of Syria, let's not forget ever, he has American blood on his hands. And now, today, Friday, President Trump and our beautiful First Lady, Melania, left this morning to fly to Italy to attend the funeral of Pope Francis. And who else will be there but Zelensky, the actor masquerading as the dictator of Ukraine. And President Trump and Melania will be there today and return to the U.S. tomorrow. So it's good to be in prayer for America, President Trump, the U.S. military, and world peace. I love you, and I'll see you soon.